Welcome to Camping with Steve. It's that time of year again, fire bans. And of course there's one on right when I wanted to do a nice relaxing, normal, regular camping trip in the school bus. So we're going to make the best of it because we do have a portable fire pit that runs on propane and we can figure out a way to cook. So just a regular, normal camping trip in a campground. Absolute luxury today. Absolute luxury. Electricity. This is the way most people I know actually go camping. You park a camper, you plug it in. No scavenging for firewood. Nice easy camping trip is a real treat this week because I'm sore. I was stacking firewood and I'm not a young man anymore. These fire pits can actually, they try to resemble a real thing. There's these pumice rocks in here and they actually glow like embers once it starts up. So I'm going to see if I can run it right in the existing fire pit just to make it feel a little bit more like a normal camping trip. And yep, fits like a dream. That'll really freak out the park rangers if they see the fire coming from the actual fire pit. Oh yeah, and just like that, we're camping.
Is that a Binford tool?
This is the Binford 2000. Oh, you got the bad one.
Oh no, it's just a little loose.
There's a trick to it.
There's a trick to it, yep.
Well, we got crazy neighbor here because it's always nice to have somebody helping with the setups, especially when I'm having a very sore day. So with no further ado, step 2. Yes.
Cheers, Steve.
Cheers. I think we could cook on that.
As if you can too.
Oh,
Nice
yeah.
fire.
You're not supposed to cook on these. There's nothing harmful about using them to cook, except all the grease will probably just drip on those rocks and make it less pretty. But we got some Johnsonville smoked sausages, so they shouldn't make too much of a mess. I didn't get the ones loaded with cheddar or anything, so yeah, relaxing, yes, a little bit close to a road. However, there's not a lot of people here yet. And here is the school bus. We've been kind of working on it. We've accomplished some of the more major things that we've got a tire appointments to get some hitch receivers installed on here, but of course fire extinguisher because you never know what things could go wrong. In here we've got trouble light hung up because where there's trouble lights, there's trouble. We got a little prep table thing here, purely just temporary until we can get some more stuff actually permanently attached in here. A couple of bunks, crazy neighbor, myself. We do have our electric power pack, the Jackery thing. That's just in case there is an issue with the power here. And we picked up a winch. And that winch there is going to be able to mount front or back, depending on how badly we get stuck and where. And then we just got a little heater here that should provide us with all the heat we need, because it's fairly well insulated in here. Double paned sealed windows. Well, a lot of them are sealed. Some of them are starting to leak a little bit there. But yeah, it's cozy. It's the first time actually just using it in a normal campsite. And don't get the idea that I'm just going to be doing videos in the bus. There's a lot of stuff on the go, but this week I was just feeling so beat up from all that work we were doing. I needed kind of a quiet week to just relax and actually enjoy camping instead of hiding from authorities and whatnot. But there will be more of that to come. Not a very inspired meal, of course, but these Johnsonville smoked sausages are always an easy favorite for us. We got a little trick too. The sacrificial beer goes in. We just boil them up in the beer, and the beer like caramelizes into this delicious malty beer sauce that
almost like a syrup.
Yeah, it is.
It is, yeah.
So this is actually working really good with the fire pit, the propane fire pit in there.
Too bad Binford didn't make one of those. We'd have it.
Yeah, we'd have a much bigger one. Some of these, let them boil down. And I have to say, camping in a tent during a fire ban without a portable fire pit would be a miserable experience. It's cooling off. It's that time of year, of course, where you need your jacket in the evening, then you need your air conditioning on in the middle of the day. So mixed bag. It's always something.
It's going to take a few minutes here, Steve.
It'll take a bit.
Yeah. I know you've been camping and being in the outdoors for many, many years, so sure you got some pretty good stories. What's the scariest you ever been when you've been out in the great outdoors or camping or whatever? And I'm not talking about, car accidents or anything like that. I'm just talking about like being in the outdoors, camping or hiking or just being outdoors. What's the scariest you ever been?
I'm usually scared of getting caught when I'm stealth camping, but
Yeah, I get that.
I guess there was once they just changed the laws on the drones.
Yeah,
and they banned them from parks. And I was using one that was a borrowed drone as well. So I didn't have the license I needed to be flying it. And we took it out at this campground.
You and Jess?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't say your name.
Okay, all right. We can edit that out.
We can. Yeah, so, well, anyway, I sent this drone up to see how high I could get it. And a park ranger pulls up right underneath of where I am flying this drone. And I'm looking on my camera. The technology was bad back then.
You control the drones through your camera?
Yeah, through the phone now.
Yeah, okay, all right, yeah.
And I had like 7 minutes of battery before this thing would come landing back down, like right on the hood of the conservation officer's truck. And I'm sitting there, and he wants to make a lot of small talk about everything. And I was really starting to panic quite a bit because the thing, it was old technology. It might have just dropped right out of the sky, right onto his windshield. And I had to just tell him right away. I said, "We're out here on our honeymoon. I better get back to my wife." And he says, "Okay, I got you." And then he drove away, and I'd never landed a drone so fast in my life. It was beeping as it was coming down, right where he was parked. That's one of the scarier ones, because I didn't want the ticket. How about you?
There was one time, probably the scariest I've ever been in my life, not just car accidents or anything, the scariest I've ever been in my life. I was with my brother Bob, and we were bear hunting in the spring up by Pembina, which isn't actually too far from where we are right now. Mm-hmm. And we got a little bit miscombobulated walking through the bush and down the cut lines and stuff. We had topographical maps and everything, but we didn't really know where we were. And we came across this abandoned railway line.
Oh.
And then we found it on the topographical map and said, okay, we'll just follow this abandoned, and it said right on the topographical map that it was abandoned. And we're following it down, and there's this big valley, and there's this trestle, a railway trestle, a wooden railway trestle. Now they'd already salvaged all the rails and everything, mm-hmm. but you could still walk across it because they had the railway ties there that you could walk on. And there was a bunch of them that were loose, and there was probably 75, 80 feet down to the bottom where this little creek was. And me and my brilliance decided I was going to pick up a railway tie mm-hmm. and throw it over the edge. And you ever seen a railway tie? They're pretty big. They're like 6 by 8 or huge. Something, and like, I don't know, 5 feet long. And they're pretty heavy. And I picked this thing up, and I'm going to throw it over the edge, and I trip. And the log went down, and I grabbed with both arms onto one of the supports that was there. And then my brother Bob grabbed me by my belt and pulled me back up. And I'm telling you, I shook for like 3 minutes straight. I was just that's the scariest I ever been in my life. That was a good one. Yeah.
Well, I think you owe him a beer.
I think I owe him a beer, yeah. Makes up for all the things I did to him when he was a kid. They always used to pick on my brother Bob. Yeah.
Good news. Perfectly, nicely caramelized, beautifully cooked.
Awesome.
Yeah, doesn't get a lot better
Awesome.
than that.
Okay.
Let's fix yourself
Yeah,
up
put
one.
that down there, yeah.
Right.
Alrighty.
Super cozy, super easy, delicious. Now that's a camping meal. I swear, every time I go out and I can bring steak or the fanciest meal possible, as soon as that fire comes on, I'm craving like hot dogs.
Yeah, I know. We do that a lot. Sauerkraut.
Mm-hmm. Wishing I cooked more than 4 right now. We had to cook up a couple more. I should have put the whole pack on the first time, but it is really nice to actually have a camping trip that's a little more relaxed, particularly because I'm not used to hauling that much firewood. That really, I gotta get back into shape again. Probably hot dogs is about the first thing I should stop eating all the time. But yeah, hopefully tomorrow I'm full of energy because we got stuff for breakfast to cook and all that. I actually want to walk around, explore this place a little bit because, you know, who knows what's around the corner. And thank you to everybody who's donated to the beer donation funds. They're helping get these adventures done, helping with the bus and all these other odd things that we're up to all the time. I do appreciate everybody, you know, like people who've donated 10 cents, people who've donated more. The generosity astounds me. However, just about time to have a midnight smoked sausage, then yeah, morning comes early, and I don't like mornings. Oh,
Get the shoes off.
it's that time
Feels
to
good.
yeah, time to hit the hay, and we can throw on something to watch, like a documentary or a documentary.
Well,
Or-
documentary, as long as it's not that one about freezing to death in the Arctic.
I'll see what I can find. I got a whole bunch. That's what I watch. Or
Lewis and Clark is going to be good. Yeah, Lewis and
yeah,
Clark.
Lewis and Clark. That'll be a good one.
Yeah.
And drift off to Slumberland. We'll see y'all in the morning. Thank you so much for watching so far and putting up with this kind of lazy camping trip, but it is so relaxing to not be hiding from authorities or anything like that. It'd be even better if there was a fire.
Oh, yeah, a fire. We had a fire.
Yeah.
Night, Steve.
Throw on the documentary here. See y'all in the morning. Oh, there we go. One way to start a fire. Had a great sleep. Hey, crazy neighbor? You sleep okay? Like a baby. Woke up screaming every 3 hours. Okay. Temperature was good though, eh? Yeah, temperature was fine. I found it a little on the hot side actually, but that's okay. We're into this like 1 or 2 week period of the spring where it's perfect camping. Nobody else around. It's not too hot. No bugs yet. That'll all change. Like within a week or two, mosquitoes, crowded campsites, scorching hot. Like it's easier to stay warm than it is to stay cool. Because I can bring a small heater, but who brings a air conditioner unit camping? It's the rain. Yay! Rain is coming. So, yeah, just warming up some water here to wash up. then it'll be time to cook up a little breakfast, and we'll see if we can wander around this campsite a little bit and see what we can see. I know all these poor trees have battle scars from axes being stuck into them. A bunch of jokers like to do that, but you know, not bad for a park. Not bad for a park overall. How's it looking?
Oh, it's warming up nicely.
Good. Some of the big progress so far we've got done on the bus is we can now lock it. We didn't come with a key to lock this thing, and yeah, now we can kind of keep people out, unless they just reef on this. It'll probably swing wide open, but it'll keep down the casual, curious troublemakers that may want to come inside and take the camera and the YouTube stuff. Have to give a big shout out to Fort McMurray, who helped us out with this. That's his actual name, and he runs fortification locksmithing. He's a friend of ours and gave us a good deal on this, so thank you very much, Fort. And yeah, we got keys for this. Also, he whipped up some keys for the electrical and battery panel on the other side, so we should be all fortified. I haven't seen anything like that before.
Oh, see it bites.
Well, that's one way to find out.
Poke it, see if it moves.
No, somebody...
That's not a bug.
Somebody just vandalized the tree with a painted rock. For crying out loud.
Well, it got us going.
I never get the bacon that looks like the nice perfect strips at IHOP or something. It always looks like the pig was butchered with a cheese grater. But it's probably just an operator issue. Breakfast wraps today. Mangled bacon, some cheese. We got onions on there from yesterday. Sweet Vidalias. I could have brought hot sauce or something too. That would have been nice.
Oh, a little ketchup on it, I think.
Ta-da! Mmm.
I'm working the tacos for us to figure out how to roll these things up.
Eggy. It's clear you've never rolled one before.
You can never tuck it in after hold it at the bottom.
Awesome. That packed up in 5 minutes flat, and we brought actually a lot more stuff with us and unloaded than we needed to. We're still fine-tuning what we're bringing on this thing, and there's eventually going to be an awning that flips down from the top, so it's one less thing to try and mess around with, rigging tarps up onto the trees and stuff like that. But yeah, check my phone first thing today. The fire ban is off now, so I guess technically at midnight we could have started a fire, but oh well, that's the way it goes. That'll make it easier for the next video. The one I was going to do this week, if I'd been not so beat from all that physical labor, was bicycle stealth camping. And I got a really nice bicycle. Beautiful wife had got that for me for our wedding present, and I haven't really taken it on a long trip yet. But judging by my body's response to moving the firewood, it's not going to be a long trip, it's going to be a short trip. And then they'll eventually get longer. Now, I used to ride this thing like 60 miles or 100 kilometers a day, and that was in my prime. I'm not in my prime anymore, but I'll try and get there. So, one little bit at a time. The bike, I think, is awesome for stealth. Just wheel it in wherever. Don't have to worry about a vehicle dropping me off or anything. It doesn't look that suspicious because there's a couple of saddlebags on it and stuff. And people do bicycle touring all the time. I did that 1,400 kilometer, 800 mile trip a few years ago, 1,200 kilometers. But yeah, it was a couple of weeks to do that and not a problem. So if I can do at least half of that in a day now, I'll be very happy. So stay tuned for that. I can't just do a massive trip like that because I will literally have a heart attack. And thanks for watching. Crazy Neighbor thanks you too. Right?
Oh, hi guys.
It's just putting the final touches on the camper in there because what I remember about a motorhome, no matter how cleared off and organized you think you got everything, you hit that first bump and there's a pot flying off the shelf you missed or something like that. So we'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks for tagging along. I know this is not anything special of a video, but felt I can't just go missing a week. So let's start this up and hit the road.